So it's been 2 weeks since the Tour Divide started, and that means the leaders are starting to make their way to the finish line, which is super exciting. But it's also a reminder that most folks still have either a few days or weeks left. In this video, we're going to chat about just that, the Broom, ITT versus the Grand Depart, reroutes, and more. Let's do it. This video is supported in part by Salsa Cycles. Salsa is adventure by bike. Salsa makes mountain, gravel, all-road, and fat tire bikes, each designed to enrich and enhance the riding experience. Salsa really does understand adventure by bike changes lives. So to learn more about Salsa and their products, you can head to salsacycles.com or you can click on this card right here. So if you missed my first update, it should help give you some context for this video. So that is linked below if you are interested in checking that out. We also just published part 1 of Eddie Clark's Tracking the Tour Divide, which shares photos of athletes tackling the Tour Divide this year. Eddie has been shooting the Tour Divide since 2009, sharing images of racers enduring the Tour Divide. So if you're interested in checking that out, there is a link provided below, and part 2 should be published here shortly. Sofiane Wins has officially won the 2022 Tour Divide, after what some might consider the sloppiest Tour Divide ever. The Tour Divide is arguably the hardest self-supported race on the planet. The list of winners is short, and the race has really gotten more and more competitive over the last few years. And I know Sofiane has been eyeballing this accomplishment since he finished the Divide in 2016, and now he has done it. Sofiane has endured snow, rain, mud, really cold temperatures, lightning storms, and even a fall off his bike. On Friday, he posted some stories to Instagram showing how a lightning and rainstorm and just peanut butter mud has really slowed him down in New Mexico. But that's all behind him now. Sofiane is not only a super strong endurance cyclist, but he's a really good human. And we did an interview a while back with him, and I also have that linked below if you're interested in checking that out. Zoe Chadelot, who was the women's leader, posted on Instagram the other day that she had pulled the plug on the race and was not really looking forward to the moisture and peanut butter mud down south in New Mexico, which has certainly happened with the recent rains in the area. So the current women's leader is Anna Yeager, who has a short lead over the current women's single speed leader, Katie Stremke. As for the men's single speed leaderboard, Seth Michael, who was in the lead, scratched next to Jackson Lake, which puts Katie's husband, Andrew Stremke, in the lead for the single speed race. So I've been getting a lot of questions about what the difference is between an ITT and a Grand Depart. So for folks that don't know, the Grand Depart takes place on the second Friday of June every year, rain or shine, no matter what. And this is the most popular time for all Tour Divide racers to take on the event. Because of this, there is no way of knowing what the weather will do. Like this year, we've seen some chaos out there, which has tested the limits of many individuals. All right, so an ITT, or individual time trial, is where a racer follows the route, all of the rules, basically the same race, but just at a different time than the Grand Depart. An ITT can literally be an hour before the Grand Depart or a few months later. You can plan around your work schedule, weather, or whatever your motivation may be. In my opinion, the Grand Depart showcases the true form of the Tour Divide, and really any race for that matter. Each individual will be enduring the exact same routes, weather, and challenges for the most part. And because of this, it's typically a level playing field. We have seen folks take on ITTs to try and break records in the past, some with success and some not so much. Some feel that the race itself creates a faster ride because there's other racers pushing each other to ride harder to stay in a certain position. Either way, it's two very different races, and because of that, many have suggested two different records, and I totally agree with that. I personally prefer that camaraderie of the Grand Depart and the experience as a whole, although I've never ITT'd the route, but I would expect it to be not as fun. So next year I hope to be in Banff on that second Friday of June. So for folks looking on the tracker, you may have noticed the green dot called the Broom on the Tour Divide tracker page. This is a new feature, but not such a new rule, so to speak. The Tour Divide is a race, and while yes, you can ride it whenever you want, the rules of the race were designed in a way to make sure riders are competitive. So according to the rules, in order to have a competitive Tour Divide route finish time, you need to finish within approximately 50% of record time for men's and 30% for women. Currently, this is 100 miles a day or roughly 27 days for men and 90 miles a day or roughly 31 days for women. You will currently see the tracker colors of individuals change based on being in front or behind the Broom. The national forests in New Mexico have reopened as of 8 a.m. on Friday, which is pretty wild considering how quick the monsoonal moisture tamed wildfires and wildfire danger down in New Mexico. Great news all around. You will notice some orange reroutes on the track leader's tracker page, and this is because the moisture makes some roads down in New Mexico really impassable with clay that basically turns the roads into fields of peanut butter. These are approved alternatives that should be taken to not only save riders time, frustration, but also money from ruining your bike and bike parts. Now that the national forests are open, this means that the traditional race route is back. For folks that have yet to make New Mexico, they will likely have an option if they have a way to load a new GPX track on their GPS. Either way, there is no current threat of records this year, likely due to all of that ridiculous snow up north and slow slog through Canada and Montana. So this should not hinder those outcomes, but it will mean some racers will be pedaling a different course this year. Generally speaking, I remember hitting Milan, New Mexico and feeling so close to the finish, yet so far. New Mexico is such a hard state to pedal through. Not until you really get to Silver City does the riding get a little bit easier. And after Silver City, your legs really don't get a break because, well, it's flatter, so you're consistently spinning your pedals. Anyways, New Mexico just wears you out. Finally, there have been reports that are coming in of folks dropping out of the race due to COVID-19. At least a handful of confirmed cases. This was inevitable, but also a little sad to see. Wyatt Spalding was one of those folks. He not only got COVID, but he also broke his collarbone. Not his year. All right, folks, that about does it. If you like what you see in these videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And if you want to help support us a little bit more, you can do that by signing up for the Bikepacking Collective. For more information, I have a link provided below. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, pedal further.